This is entry 20 of Expedition Handheld. I'm Adam Patrick Murray.
And I'm Russ from Retro Game Corps, obviously. We'll be your journey on this guide of handheld discovery.
Okay then.
Yeah, man, I want to do it.
Russ, last week we talked about your lighting changing in your normal set, but I guess you have a different camera angle too?
Yeah, this, my face camera, the lighting wasn't right, so, I wanted to go with the top-down camera this time. I hope that's okay. You could still totally tell it's me though, see my, green filming desk right there. That's one thing you see in my videos. And,
yeah.
My tattoos, obviously. I got my tattoos right there. So, that's the proof. That's all the proof you need.
True, I guess. But I thought you were in Australia. Are you back now? What?
No. I changed my mind. I decided to stay home instead. I didn't want to miss being on Expedition Handheld.
Okay, right? Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's a little weird. I don't know why you wouldn't have told me. Something seems to be off, but we got a show to do, so I'm glad you're here. It's better than me just doing it myself. So I guess we should get to some news.
Yeah, no, nothing's off. It's fine. Yeah, I'm ready. I could prove it too, because I got my snack and drink. So, that's what I always say: snack and drink. So, yeah.
It's true. You always say that. I guess I realize I never usually ask you though, like what your snack and drink is. So what are you snacking on and drinking?
Oh, I don't mind sharing this. This is my instant mashed potatoes. It's my favorite snack. Obviously, everyone knows that about me, Russ, that I love instant mashed potatoes. So that's my snack, and then obviously my drink. Yeah, I got a root beer right here to wash down the potatoes.
Hold on.
Gotta stay hydrated. I'm always saying that.
Russ, hold up. Root beer?
Yeah.
We just hung out for like a week in Taiwan, and you never drank a root beer. Hold on. I know what's going on here. Tech dweeb.
What?
Is that you?
No, it's just me. I got the green mat. No.
Nope. You can't fool me. I know a root beer loving Mr. Dweeb when I see one.
All right, you got me. It's me. I snuck onto the show. Yeah.
Well, where's Russ?
I don't know. Australia, probably, I guess. He went to Australia for some reason that nobody understands.
All right. Well, that's pretty sneaky of you, Mr. Dweeb. I guess you really wanted to be on the show?
Oh, yeah. I do want to be here, Adam Patrick Murray, because I have a bone to pick with you.
Uh-oh.
That's right. Yeah, you thought you could get away with it, didn't you? Well, so sorry, buddy. That's not going to happen. The day of your reckoning is upon us.
Okay. Yeah. I'm ready.
You really don't remember, do you?
No.
Well, let me take you back. To 2019. Does this look familiar?
Yeah, that looks very familiar. I wrote that article. I took that photo.
Yeah, there are lots of good photos in here, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you wrote this article on this PC World, allegedly.
It's true.
Of the new BitBoy, and you called it the best retro gaming device for those who want to play their games on the go. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. I did that.
Well, I wanted to tell you that it was because of you that I bought my first emulation handheld.
Really?
This started me on the hobby. And every device, I fell in love with this thing. This became my favorite thing in the world for 2019 and 2020. I put hundreds of hours into this thing. And it is literally because of that review that you wrote that I bought this.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. I had no idea. It's a good handheld.
It's so good. This paved the way to my favorite thing in the world right now, the Miu Mini. And this is like the V1 of the Miu Mini, right? So,
right. Yeah.
You know, if you think about it, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. You made me, Adam Patrick Murray. So you're to blame, really, if you think about it.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, no, listen, I'm glad you're on the show because we've been meaning to chat, and I'm excited to talk about root beer because I am also a root beer fan. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
But yeah, I'm glad you really like the new BitBoy V3. That was it was so good. That was a device.
Sadly, my bezel broke, but I actually it was looking pretty ghetto for a while. But I put a 3D printed bezel on there. I actually made that one there.
Ooh, fancy!
Yeah.
I got Mr. Fancy Dweeb.
Yeah, I got a 3D printer, and I've been slowly learning how to make little things for handhelds. That's the main reason I wanted it, but I can't do anything super cool yet. But I did make this. This was like a thing that I figured out how to do. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you've also figured out how to make awesome YouTube videos. I watch them. I appreciate not only your visual aesthetics, but the gags. I told you before the show, and I'll tell you again, like, oh man, like I usually at some point in the video have to hit pause and laugh my butt off because like you're hilarious.
Oh well, that's music to my ears. That's what I like to hear. Bring a little. I've always been like kind of a show off, a class clown. I was always the class clown. Oh man, if you took all my like grade school report cards and you did a search for like common terms, the term class clown would probably be like the number one term of all of them. Like that was just such a theme that like it wasn't even, my mom would have just stopped paying attention to that word because she saw it so much. And she's like, what do you want me to do? There's nothing I could do. He's just like this.
That's just how he is. Hey, you know what? And I appreciate you just how you are. So I'm glad you're here. We do have some news to get to. So,
okay.
Speaking of the class clown, I'm just kidding. No, that's rude. Ayaneo has another device. You've heard of Ayaneo, right?
Yeah, I have a few of their things. Yeah, that the new what is it? The Next 2.
First up, I guess that doesn't quite really make sense. It's the Next 2. It's the second of the Next.
The Next 2 as well.
Maybe that'll be the other one. The Next as well.
Then we'll have to say the Next 2 as well also.
Yeah.
We only have so many words to add to it before it just becomes ridiculous.
Naming is hard.
Handheld makers wouldn't make their names ridiculous after all. So come on.
No. Just to get to the details, Ayaneo Next 2, the AMD Ryzen AI 395 Max plus whatever. Oh, there is a 385 as well. I mean, by all accounts, this thing does look like they swung for the fences. I mean, a 9-inch OLED display, like that's pretty big.
They pulled out all the stops.
116 watt-hour battery, like integrated into the system. This isn't like the GPD one that has the detachable one. Like that is a huge battery. I'm not seeing the actual weight of it on this.
They don't want you to know that yet.
Yeah, right.
They're keeping that to themselves for now.
As of recording right now, the 85 and the top end 395 are both sold out, so it's only the 64 gig 1 terabyte one. And yeah, it's a cool 3,700 United States dollars. And wow, that is a big amount of money. And like, there's always people who are just like, oh, why would they even make this? Why are they doing this? I mean, number one, I guess because they can. I mean, there's people who are buying these things, but also, like, I think companies like this really like to show off that, hey, they have the best of the best, like, flagship out there. Like, it seems like a contest almost. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, so like I have a bit of a different opinion than lots of people on this topic because I know lots of people I'm mid 40s. I'm 40 something. I
Same.
think you are too. Yeah.
Hmm.
So like I don't know about you, but lots of guys my age, they have pretty expensive hobbies. My neighbor just bought a new boat. I don't have a boat, you know? His boat costs a lot more than an Ayaneo Next 2. And that's what brings him joy. And he works hard for his money. And so he buys the thing he wants. He wants the nice version. I'm sure he could buy a really cheap little boat and do the same boating, but go out on the water in that boat instead of his new boat. And if it does the same thing, why would you get the nice one? But that thought doesn't really appeal to him. He wants the nice boat, so he got the nice boat. I have another friend who's into golf. Do you know what golf clubs cost? My God.
I mean, I don't know specifically, but I can only imagine.
He was actually doing the what do you call it? He was like volunteering at a long drive competition. The world famous long drivers all came to our hometown and they were long driving, and so he was there volunteering, and he was telling me that I was like, well, how much could a club be? And he was like, oh, you know, the most expensive club there probably isn't more than $5,000. And I was like, what? $5,000 for
single
a club? Yeah. I mean, this is like the top of the top, the world's best, but like these things exist for the people who have the money and who want the very, very best. Obviously, it's like a diminishing returns situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can play Baldur's Gate 3 on my Steam Deck. Why would I need this? But, you know, if you have the money and you want the best of the best, it exists for you. And I don't begrudge anyone who works hard for their money and uses it to spend on something that brings them joy. Now, no way would I ever get this. That is bonkers to me. Even if I had the money, I would accept less to save a lot of money. You know, my eyes have been opened into the world of luxury items. You know.
It's true. Well, I mean, I guess they're saving money here compared to the boat because you can't really put this in the water. I mean, I guess you could, but it's not going to do anything.
Yeah. Well, we don't know a few things about it. We don't know the weight. We don't know the buoyancy and the IPV whatever water resistance rating. So I don't think you should say that definitively, but I think we can assume at least that it's not going to be as good in the water as a boat.
True. we can assume that. Anyway, yeah, this is interesting, but yeah, well, I think we should move on to the next one because this is way more interesting for me. So, the MagicX, the company MagicX, wants to build a Nintendo 2DS like handheld emulator, is what the fine folks over at Retroid wrote. And first off, I have never had any experience with a MagicX handheld. Have you?
Oh yeah, I have a few of them. So the 040 was their previous one that was like I could go grab it on my shelf. I don't know. It was like it had a tall narrow screen, and it was good for DS and vertical shooters. And that was a weird one. The screen was weird and it wasn't ideal for DS, and even the device itself, it had some quirks with DS stuff. But it was neat. I liked it. So I actually, I have a little visual prop here. This is something that I like a lot. This is my 2DS.
Yeah. The classic.
That guy. Do you have one of those?
No, that's like one of the only Nintendo handhelds I've never put in my hands. So I'm a little jealous.
It gets made fun of a lot, but I love it.
Isn't the nickname the doorstop?
It is a little bit of a wedge. Yeah,
but
it would
hear
make
people
a very
saying
good
like
doorstop.
I hear people saying that it is actually really comfortable in the hand though. Like, what do you think?
Oh yeah, it absolutely is comfortable, and it's kind of super cheap. Like I got this for I think oh gosh, I don't remember. I got it during COVID. I think it was like $120 Canadian. There we go. Yeah, this is themed like BMO from Adventure Time. That's why
I like it.
Yeah. So it is a very comfortable form factor. It looks weird, but like, lots of handhelds look weird, but are comfortable. So,
True.
I put a lot of time into this. And this was my first real exploration of the 3DS library. So like
really?
this was before 3DS emulation got good. I never had an actual 3DS back in the day, although I did have a friend who had one, so I got to experience the 3D effect quite extensively, which I didn't care for. So when I saw this cheap, I scooped it up.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, as people might have known from past episodes, but I've been on like such a kick of getting original hardware that it's pretty fun. It's one on my list because, like I said, I've never messed with it, and I'm very curious. I actually do like the 3D effect personally, so like
Really?
which is why I never picked it up at the time, or even the clamshell 2DS. Even though I thought that one looked really cool too, but I kind of like using the 3D effect, and of course none of these new emulation devices have a 3D effect that I know of. Actually, is that true?
Well, there's the Abixi Loot. I forget the name of it. The big white Abixi Loot PC handheld that had a glasses free 3D screen.
Okay,
I do have that one. It was that's probably the weirdest PC handheld I've ever reviewed. Yeah, the 3D effect wasn't great, and it did remind me of the 3D effect from the 3DS actually. I didn't like it there either.
Well, I mean, since you have an original 2DS, can you glean anything from this MagicX 2DS like handheld emulator that you would like or you wouldn't like? Like, what do you think?
Yeah. So like, I can tell from the screenshot that they're obviously like trying to model it exactly after this thing, right? Like the even the angle on the curves and the like how tight the radius is down here versus up here, like it looks like they're really just doing exactly this. It is a comfortable form factor. They have looks like they have the buttons in the same place that the buttons on here are. The second stick, you're gonna need that for maybe something, I don't know. See, it's a weird situation because these niche handhelds that are meant to replicate a specific system, it's sort of like, you could play PSP on there if you wanted, but like, maybe if you only bought one handheld, maybe if you were like, I love DS and 3DS and vertical shooters. I want a handheld that does those perfectly, but I also want to play a little bit of PSP. Oh, I can. That's cool. But like, I mean, for most people, it probably doesn't make sense to get this over something else for most things. But I don't think we have all the details yet, do we? Do we have the screen resolution and the aspect scaling and stuff? Oh, we do. Yeah, it's there. It's 768 by 1024. Yep. Yeah, 768 horizontal pixels in this situation. So that's a little bit weird.
Yeah, and it's a 4:3 display. It also is rocking a MTK G99 CPU. I don't know these.
Yeah, so they got the G99. That's a pretty well known chip. That was in the KTR1 and the ZPG Unicorn, which was also that was a Square device. So there actually probably is some similarities. There's a Venn diagram of the people who would want the ZPG Unicorn and who would want this for like stacked DS stuff. But the problem is if you get into the 3DS emulation, you're going to want the 4 gigabytes of RAM version, which is MediaTek Dimensity 7300. And that, I don't know if there are handhelds with that. I'm being a bad tech dweeb by not having this information in my brain, but I can't think of any.
That's okay. Luckily, usually Russ covers that for me because that's I've been trying to catch up on the ARM like side of things, but it's a whole different world compared to x86. So, if you're saying you need 4 gigs of RAM to be able to do the 3DS games, like why do you think they're even offering the 3 gig version?
Oh, I wouldn't say you need 4 for all 3DS games, just for like the top hardest to run games. And even then, maybe they would go a little bit beyond that. I've done lots of 3DS testing, and I haven't actually compared 3 versus 4 gigabytes of RAM. Usually, the limiting factor in the past was the CPU. So this, based on the number alone, MediaTek Dimensity 7300. I'm assuming that's the previous generation of the 8300. So it probably can handle 3DS just fine. That's my assumption. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, I guess, if we haven't had a handheld that actually uses that chip. The one thing about it being 4 gigabytes of RAM, though, like that spec bump, will you get that much more 3DS games that you want to play for an extra, however many dollars? What is that? An extra $40? You pay $40 and you can play those 7 harder to run games that you wanted, and is that worth it? And is this even going to be a really, really fun, comfy device in general? Like it has to get the basics right too. So yeah, lots of unknowns. I do like that MagicX does these weird things though. I like weird handhelds. I like niche products. I like devices that are specifically made to just do a thing well. And MagicX is one of the only companies that's taken these kind of chances. So like, I love to see it. And I can't wait to test it. I will get one, but like, yeah, whether or not you should get one, hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, always wait for reviews. Definitely. So the entry level one is 125. The upgraded one is 165. Is there one that you would prefer personally?
Well, I mean, obviously, as a reviewer, I would need the top end one to see how far you can push it and make sure to find out where the ceiling is. If I was buying them, that's tough. I'd probably go for the cheaper one, to be honest. That G99 is a pretty good chip. It can handle 3DS. It can handle lots of 3DS. So I don't think you would really be missing a lot. But for like a 3DS enthusiast, they probably would just pay the extra $40 just to know that if the game doesn't run, at least they did everything they could to get it running. It's sort of like a peace of mind thing.
Yeah, I mean the other question I have too, that obviously this is not a final thing. Like they're kind of putting this out there and asking for feedback before they make this call kind of thing. But like there's no shots of the back. We don't know if there's an included stylus or anything like that. Extra features, like anything like that. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting device. Like obviously caters to the people who maybe have a fondness for the 2DS as well. But I guess my last question for you would be, if you were looking specifically for 2DS or 3DS kind of stuff, like would you rather have something like this or the AYN Thor? Obviously it's different power wise and price wise and things like that, but the AYN Thor can do more stuff, like if you're trying to get into PSP and any other device that you're trying to emulate.
Yeah, it's a good question. I guess this sort of sits in the middle of like the RGDS, which is like, what is that? That's like $100 or whatever.
Yep.
And then you got the Thor, and then this is sort of in the middle. And this isn't even really competing with those because this isn't a flippy screen, dual screen device. But it sort of is, because the reason you would get this is for really good 3DS and 2DS and vertical shooters. So like, yeah. No, I mean, the Thor is amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite devices. So I would spend extra for that. I also like the 2DS. I like that you get a really good dedicated Nintendo DS device for like $100. All the DS emulation you could want. So this one is sort of like it's the best of both worlds and the worst of both worlds at the same time. So I mean, lots of people don't like the wedge shape. I do. That is zero issue for me. I think it looks pretty nice. Other than the colors, obviously, I would want something a little more interesting than just black. Oh, hey, how do you feel about device colors? Are you like agnostic when it comes to like black versus white versus colors versus retro style? Like where do you land? What do you buy?
I mean, that one's hard. I will say almost always, if there is some sort of transparent or translucent option, then I'm in. You got me. Yeah, that's I have a soft spot for that kind of thing. But when it comes to colorways, I mean it like we talk about this over on the Full Nerd as well, where we talk about PC building topics, and like for the longest time, it was just like, oh, you could pretty much only get black. Well, I mean, before that it was beige, right? And then it was like, oh, look, we got everything with black. And then like now more and more you are starting to see other options in terms of white and different colors and things like that. But here on these handheld devices, like it's also not something that I'm going to reshell like an original. Like I really did enjoy reshelling that Game Boy Advance that I had and just being like, okay, well what do I want? There's so many different options out there. But I don't know. Have you reshelled any of your emulation devices? I guess.
No. I did want to do my GBASP, and I even bought all this stuff. And shortly after I got all this stuff, and I was basically ready to pull the trigger and wait for a rainy day and actually do it, it died. The GBASP, it stopped reading carts, and I did everything I could to clean it, and yeah, it just doesn't boot when there's a card in there. So I'm pretty sure it's fried, but
that's a bummer.
Yeah, whatever. I got all this stuff, so I'll do it someday. But I haven't actually done a full reshell. At one point, I was considering doing it with the original Steam Deck. I had Extreme Rate send me their whole kit where you could reshell it into a white deck before the limited edition white deck. And then I watched the tutorial and I was like, nope, no way.
Yeah. It's a huge risk, right? I mean, there's so much more involved compared to like a GBA reshell kind of thing. So like, I feel like if I were to buy an emulation device like this, that this is going to be what it is. I'm probably not going to go change anything. And so
I don't mind changing stuff. Like, I've done paint stuff. I've painted my handhelds. I don't know if you've seen any of my painting handhelds videos. And now that I have a 3D printer, I've actually been experimenting making my own buttons. And I did the slim back for the RP Classic. That print didn't work. I'm still a noob with that sort of stuff, so I'm figuring that out. But I'll get there. I do like the idea of modding stuff, but like something like this, nah. It's not precious enough to me to spend the time to actually do it. Even if I would prefer it in a retro beige colorway, I'm not something like this. It's like, I'll just use it however I get it.
Well, I mean, it's harder for me because I don't have the skills and the design kind of knowledge like you do. So like I really love what you're able to come up with. Even as something as simple as the way that you skin your themes on the handhelds, like I'm just like, man, that looks so cool. I can't do that. So like I'm usually just like, I'll just keep it how it is kind of thing. Even though yes, I know I could paint it or whatever. Like I'm probably just gonna ruin it. So
yeah. Well, that is one of the benefits of a plain black device. Is it's sort of like a blank slate. You know, you skin the theme or whatever, the front end. And maybe that's enough. You know, it's just a black device with your UI, and maybe that you know, phones are like that. So I mean, why not? Painting buttons is pretty easy. Taking the buttons out and spray painting them and giving them a little protective coating. It only takes a couple days for the paint to dry. You want to let it fully dry before you do it. But like, yeah, it turns out pretty good. My main Miu Mini has painted buttons right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I get people in my comments all the time who are like, don't paint your buttons. They're going to get all chipped and they're going to die. I'm like, brother, my main Miu Mini that I carry around all day, every day has painted buttons. They're doing fine. And even if they did get chipped or whatever, it's like, well, whatever. Who cares? Like, I painted them. I could paint them again or throw them away. It was, you know, $50 or whatever it was, you know? So,
yeah, that's weird. Also, I mean, it's your handheld. Like, why do they care? Like,
oh, they just didn't like that I was suggesting other people do it because they were worried that I'm giving false information. But like, no, it's painting your stuff is fine as long as you're okay with it not being perfect. Like it's, you know, these things aren't so precious that they need to be kept pristine, and it's gonna get scuffed and scratched anyway. So like, why not have fun with life? Come on.
Yeah, patina. You know, you put your own spin on it. But
or,
listen,
sticker bomb. That's another cheap way to do it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you know though, that's not my jam. I know like my wife puts stickers on her laptop. Like she immediately just covers it in stickers. And I'm like, I can't do that. I just don't.
Yeah.
something about it.
Yeah, it's a little, yeah. I mean, it's not as permanent as getting a tattoo.
Which, by the way, those are great tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Props to the artist, the tattoo artist.
Yeah, I tried to mimic Russ's style.
Looks exactly like it. Yeah. So, well, listen, that's not the only MagicX device. They also
Oh yeah.
spec'd out a Mini 40. And this one kind of has some translucent plastic, so I'm kind of digging it. But it looks like it's coming off the heels of discontinuing the Mini 028. Fantastic name.
Yeah.
So tell me about this.
So the 028 is one of the only handhelds that I got, but I didn't review because I hated it. I didn't like it.
Oh.
It was it was a little guy. So it was let me start at the beginning. The MagicX XU Mini M was an adorable little guy. It had a 2.8-inch screen. It had dual sticks. It was great. I loved it. It was really cheap too. It's still cheap. I think the last time I looked at the website, it was like $35. I was like, what? How is that so cheap? It's so good. So like, that was one of those situations of like you can take this from my cold dead hands. I loved it. And then the 040 came along, and it was supposed to be like the new one, the next generation of the XU Mini M. Wait, I keep calling it the 040. Well, I think the 40 was the vertical one. What was the small one? Oh gosh. Oh, 028.
28.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, because it's 2.8 inches, right? Is that what they're going for?
That makes sense. You'd think I would have figured this out by now.
No, I only figured out because what we were just talking about this. With the new Ayaneo. No, it wasn't Ayaneo. I don't know. Russ and I were talking about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the numbers just the Ambernick RG355 whatever, and it's like, that's what the numbers mean."
Usually they match the screen size until they don't, and then you're like, wait, okay, this one doesn't do it. Okay, the 028, it was supposed to be like the new XU Mini M. It was more powerful. It had like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You could and it had Android out of the box. People liked it. I hated it. I didn't have a touch screen. The build of Android they had, it felt I don't know. It was very, very simple and basic. To do like anything on Android, you actually had to use the joystick to move a cursor, like a virtual cursor. Yeah. Once you got it set up, you really didn't need to do Android-y stuff. You could just use it like a retro handheld. But it was so annoying to set up. And I don't know. I didn't need the power. I didn't need more Dreamcast on a device that small. And the compromises that you made to actually get it working were not worth it. So I didn't even review it. I have it on my shelf. I didn't even like the look of it that much. The first one, they had this lovely orange. And then the new one, there was like this. I picked the one that I liked the best, but I didn't even like it that much. It was like a crystal ice blue. It was sort of cool, I guess. But anyways, this one's a lot more appealing to me.
Yeah. So they're essentially saying it was intended to be a $50 handheld with an RK3566, 1 gigabyte of RAM, and a 4-inch display, which works with the Mini 40, right? Probably what that means. So what can you tell me about that chip? That I'm assuming that's Rock Chip 3566. Is that what that is?
Oh yeah, that's that's the chip. That's been in so many things. That was the main most common chip for, but until the XX devices came along, like that was the chip that was in everything, like the RG353P and the 353V, all those Amberlick things and Powkitty things too. It was either that or the 3326 chip, which was like the lower power version. It's a good chip though. It's more powerful than the H700 by a little bit. So, you'll get like a little bit more Dreamcast on the RK3566 compared to like the XX devices. I do kind of like that they're thinking of speccing it up because, I mean, we've had so many RK3566 things that like, it's sort of, even if it is a good chip, it's sort of cursed at this point because the community knows that they're bored of it. And so even just the fact that that's in there is going to make people want to skip it. And I get that because there's nothing new, you know?
Yeah, so they took to the community and they're talking about two different versions. So instead of the RK3566, one of them is a RK3572. Look at that. That's how many? That's 6 more numbers. So it's got to be better. And then the other option is an all-winner A333. Do you know how those two compare?
I don't know how those compare. I have no idea about the 3572, but I do know that the A33 is a good bit more performant than the RK3566. So I would be A-okay with paying $10 extra to get extra performance in that situation, to get the $59 choice. Are they actually offering both of these, or was it just they were asking what people would pay for?
So I'm just going to read the post. So, quote, after an internal review, we've decided to make a meaningful change to the Mini 40. Instead of the RK355, we'll offer 2 versions with different SoCs, so you can choose the one that best fits your needs and budget, end quote. So I'm assuming they are going to offer both of them. And the RK3572 is actually the more expensive model. They're listing a early bird at $80, and then the all-winner A333 is an early bird price at $60.
Like most retro handheld things like this, it's just going to be like, what games can you play on one versus the other? Mm-hmm. It'll be like more Dreamcast, more PSP. I mean, the screen for this does seem pretty nice. Pretty good scaling for probably PSP and retro systems and stuff. So I don't know. They're cheap though. Like, I like to see cheap things in this economy. So like anything under $100 is like, yeah, sign me up. I'll take both probably. I'd love to see how they compare against each other. They do have an orange one up there, which I have been ogling this whole time we've been talking. I keep looking. I want to get the orange one in one color and the black one the orange one in one spec and the black one in another spec, right. And then swap the buttons so they are both orange and black.
Hey, there you go. Now you're thinking. Well, except for the black one has black thumbsticks, and the orange one doesn't have orange thumbsticks. They're white.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they have sort of their the same sticks they had on the 028 and the XU Mini M, which are not removable sticks, unless I'm correctly mistaken, and I don't think I am. I mean, I could go grab them off my shelf, but it's all the way over there.
Yeah, it's so far, right? You're gonna need more root beer after that. So yeah, interesting. Little note. I mean, MagicX. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to mess around with any of those devices. But while the 2DS one is nice and quirky, I mean, this looks pretty straightforward. The Mini 40, right?
Yeah. This is their crowd pleaser device. The XU Mini M and the 028 were both just devices for the masses. They didn't have a weird gimmick to them. They were just good little handhelds for playing your retro games. And this feels like the advanced version of those. And I'm all for it. I think these are going to be nice. One of my favorite things about the XU Mini M, which the 028 did have, is the sticks. The sticks were really, really good. They felt great. They felt almost like Retroid sticks, like a low profile version of a Retroid stick, which at the time was very cool because most sticks sucked on these cheap handhelds. They felt way better than all the Amberlick and the Powkiddy devices.
Nice. All right. Well, let's move on to this last news post. More hardware, not new, but some changes. So Retroid announced that the Pocket 5 and the Flip 2 is going to get a price increase, but it's getting a price increase because it's going to feature more RAM. Now, which is weird because everyone else on the planet's like, hey, dog, we're having a hard time getting RAM. We're probably going to cut back on things. And Retroid's over here being like, hey, we got so much RAM, we'll give you more RAM, but you got to pay for it. Luckily, the cost increase isn't too much. It looks like essentially $10 increase that I'm seeing, depending on the one you're getting. So, jumping up from an 8 gig variant to a 12 gig variant for only $10, that doesn't seem like too bad of a deal. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sign me up for that for sure. I do suspect that this is because of the RAM shortage. You'd think, what? How could they put more RAM in if they have less RAM? But it's probably just like the chip allocation they have. Like maybe the eight gigabyte version, they had the 4 chips, and now they're out of the 4 chips. They only have the 6 chips or whatever. So they're just doing what they can, and they got to increase the price because of that. I don't think they're doing it because the devices need more RAM. They're just doing it because that's what they got to do. And the $10 for more RAM. So yeah, sign me up for that. It's kind of weird to get a device with more RAM in 2026, but
no, I think you hit the nail on the head. That like all these companies are just trying to do with what they can, and probably being like, okay, well, we wanted to do 8. But all we can buy is 12, so I guess we'll do that. And I mean, I guess the thing I'm surprised about is that it's only $10, because that seems like I don't remember what device we were talking about, but how Russ was saying that he had heard somebody say that like it's been essentially $10 per gig. So $10 and you get 4 extra gigs here. Like that doesn't seem like too big of a deal. I don't know if that means Retroid is cutting into their margins or something, but I guess either way that's a good thing. So
yeah, they probably bought like a shipping crate full of 6 gigabyte chips, and they're like, okay, we could just swap it, and everybody's scrounging for RAM. So like when somebody finds RAM, they just buy it, and it's like you get what you get, and maybe they're even taking a little bit of a hit. Maybe they're trying to be wary, and they don't want to increase it by $20. So they're like, okay, well, we'll cut into our profits a little and only increase it 10. Because, I mean, frankly, these don't need more than 8 gigabytes of RAM, in my opinion. Not for the Snapdragon 865, not for the stuff that plays well on there. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I'm just glad that the news isn't like we couldn't get enough 8 gigabyte chips, so we're just canceling the product. Because the Flip 2 and the Retroid Pocket 5 have been go-to devices for me to recommend, and I love that they are still alive and kicking.
Yeah, I mean, especially because like that Retroid Pocket 5 has been on. Oh man, when did that come out? Like I think that came out like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, it sounds about right. I don't know.
Yeah,
time passes weird these days.
Yeah, and there is a Retroid Pocket 6 right now, so I mean, they're they didn't just say, you know what, we're gonna get rid of the old one and have the new one. It seems like they are allowing those things to sit side by side.
Well, they did have to get rid of the Retroid Pocket G2, which it basically is the Retroid Pocket 5 Plus. They just didn't want to call it that. And that's a shame, because that one really, really was a big performance bump for a very small extra money. I think it was like, what, $10 or $20 more? And you got like double the performance. Like it was like halfway between the Snapdragon 865 and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Like the G2 was like closer to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It was an impressive little device, and I loved it. And that one has suffered the casualty of the tech crisis. I'm assuming because that one uses a different type of RAM. I might be wrong about that, but they couldn't just like make that one instead of the RP5 because they didn't have that RAM.
Interesting indeed. Well, listen, I need to go find some root beer and take a break. So we'll be right back after these messages.
I got a bowl of instant mashed potatoes calling my name.
Yeah. You don't want to let those go cold.
It's a little late for that.
All right, Russ, we're back. Oh wait, hold on. Nope, not Russ.
I get my tattoos out again.
Yeah. Oh, you almost fooled me again. But no, we're back. We're gonna talk about what's in your pocket. My first question is, do you also have striped pockets?
No. On these pants, I don't. I do my pajama pants. I have matching pajama pants. So lots of people actually ask me this. My literal, actual, real life mom made me this shirt, and
That's
she made
awesome.
me the fabric is so nice. It's this like stretchy spandexy fabric, and it's so cozy. So I had her make me pajama pants as well.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen the pockets, the actual physical pockets of your pocket intern, but I realized that I never saw your pockets. So,
Yeah, he's just a temp. He's not going to be here for much longer. So
oh,
don't get used to him.
well,
Yeah,
hopefully he doesn't listen to the show then. So that would be awkward.
yeah. No, I don't know what he does with his time. To be honest,
Oh,
that guy. I tell
oh,
you.
yeah. It's hard to get good help around here. Uh,
Tell me about it.
so yes, we're in the section where we're talking about what's in our pocket. The first one I want to bring up is actually something I haven't talked about too much, but ever since I got that PSP 1000, I just from Steve Lynn, thank you again for graciously giving that to me. Like man, I cannot stop playing this thing. Like I have all these new devices like the claw and like all these projects I want to do and all this kind of stuff. But when I sit down on the couch in the evening, I whip out that PSP and I'm like, this is great.
Well, watching you open it on the show was like it felt like watching a Christmas morning video from like the '90s or whenever it came out, the 2000s, of somebody opening it for the first time. Because well, it was you should anybody watching this, you should go back and watch that episode because he was gifted a complete in-box PSP, like it was brand spanking new, and it was cool to see an unboxing of an old thing and all the other little stuff that was in the box too. Like it's not just the device back then; it was the
Right.
whole experience.
Yeah, and this one was I don't remember the name of it now, but it was like a bundle, so it had the disc of Spider-Man 2 specifically,
Yeah,
which I have put in, and I started to watch a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to watch this whole movie, but it was funny.
yeah.
And then there was like a demo disc kind of thing, and then headphones, and actually the headphones I've been using, those have been really good. But also, it made me realize like I'm not much of a box person. I don't know about you, but like there are some people who keep the boxes and all that kind of stuff. Like he even kept like the plastic wrap that the PSP was in, and like I appreciate that now, and like but it also makes me look back and be like I never keep that stuff. Should I start keeping that stuff? Oh, I don't know.
I am 100% a box keeper. I
Oh, you
have
are okay.
I have a storage closet here in my dork den where I have all my boxes. And actually, just like now that you mention it, like just like a week and a half ago, I finally put some shelves in there. It was
Ooh.
just stacks of boxes until a couple weeks ago. And it was pretty sad when I needed something. The whole tower would fall down, and I tried to have the big boxes at the bottom and the small ones at the top. But you start with the best of intentions, and after a while, it just becomes a pile of boxes. So now I actually have shelves. It looks like a tech library in there with everything all neatly organized and stuff. Oh, my mom was so happy to see that I finally got around to dealing with that room.
Nice. Well, do you even keep the boxes of like the super cheap handhelds?
Yeah, because I don't know why. It's a problem. I don't have a good reason to keep them, but I have a hard time throwing things away. So I figure if I have the device, I should have the box because I do occasionally like give them to friends or whatever. If I have an old college friend that I haven't seen in a while and I go see them, I'll bring them a toy, and it's nice to be able to bring it in the box. Storage space is one thing that I don't have a problem with. I have lots of extra space in this basement of mine, so
Oh.
I can just hoard them, and it's not really a problem. But if I was in an apartment or something, I'd probably get rid of the boxes, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been in apartments, and especially in the Bay Area, smaller apartments. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, so here's the weird thing. Like, I mean, I've definitely been playing the crap out of that PSP. Despite the screen, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's like ghosting like crazy." It's like bad image quality, and there is a dead pixel on that screen, but it's not bugging me. Like I feel like I'm transported back in time and being like, yeah, that's what I remember the screen looking like. And I've thought
Yeah.
about getting the screen replacement because Mr. Nacho Productions has a video about like a super easy drop in screen replacement for it. But I'm like, I don't know. I kind of like just the stock screen. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, if you is the screen replacement OLED? Like, I'm pretty sure you can get OLED screens that replace the PSP screen.
I don't know if this one was OLED or not. I don't remember off the top of my
Yeah,
head. This might just
yeah.
be
So, so,
laminated IPS.
one of the only pieces of original hardware I have is the original Game Boy, and I would never put an IPS screen in there. Because like the crappy screen is part of what makes it special. And that's what makes it feel like a Game Boy. If I put a fancy screen in there, I'd be like, okay, well now the game looks perfect. So why wouldn't I just emulate this or whatever? If you're playing on the original hardware, it's the better you can get to the original experience, just stick with that. Like, yeah, enjoy the PSP for what it was on its own without modernizing it, right? Because you don't really need to fancy up your PSP, right?
No, I mean the only thing that I've bought, I haven't done yet, but there is a mod. It was real cheap. I don't remember off the top of my head where I bought it. Like I think it was on Etsy. Somebody had a USB-C charging port. So essentially, it's like a real easy solder job. You do have to Dremel out the charging port a little bit, but like it's been sitting there, and I'm like, well, I have a way to charge it. Yes, it would be nice if I could charge it over USB-C, but then I would be physically altering the PSP forever. Do I actually want to do that or not? So like
Yeah.
I bought it, but it's just been sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, if you play a ton of PSP, maybe I guess if you're like, oh, that stupid charger, if I could just plug it in my computer, I charge it 10 times a day. If I just didn't have to deal with that, but like, yeah, I don't know. I do like on my 3DS or my 2DS, I bought a USB charging cord, so I don't have to find the adapter. I just plug in the charging cable to whatever charger I have kicking around.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's convenient, but like, not a deal breaker. I wouldn't go altering the device for that. 'Cause once you get into altering one thing, it's sort of a rabbit hole. You kind of would feel like you need to do everything at that point.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and the last point on the PSP stuff is that there were some people who were like, yeah, why are you even playing the PSP 1000? You should play these PSP games on a Vita, which I do have a Vita. I've the first Vita, so the OLED screen, and like I did actually play some of the like switch over to playing some of the games on the Vita. But once again, it's like something about that PSP 1000 experience that I'm like, yes, I know it's technically a bigger screen. It looks better. It's got two sticks, which really does help a lot for certain games. But for the most part, I'm like, yeah, but I could just be playing this on the PSP 1000.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's the thing. It's the actual thing that the game was on. I don't know. Like if you want the best, most luxurious way to play those games, I mean, you could emulate them on a 4K TV with upscaling and save states and fast forward and all that stuff. Graphical enhancements and texture packs. Like you can, like there are ways you can improve playing those games, but the actual device is a special experience that you don't get anywhere else. So like, yeah, I say just lean into that. That's my opinion on the matter. And I'm not here to tell you what to do, though. I'm not your mother.
No, I mean, my only worry is because I've actually been using it on the bus, and like that's the only place where I am having a little bit of. It's not an issue with the screen, but the screen doesn't get bright enough sometimes when it's super bright out.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's not enough for me to change out the screen, I don't think. But then I'm like, wait, if my bag gets jacked or somebody's like, hey, give me your PSP, like I'd be so sad. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why you need a PSP protector, which is a thing that I just invented. It basically is like handcuffing a PSP to yourself, but like in a cool way.
Yeah, well, kind of like the Nintendo used to do with the booth babes at E3.
Is that a thing they did?
Yeah,
They
never heard of this?
handcuffed the devices? No.
No, yeah. So I don't remember the exact launches, but yeah, like around the DS time frame, maybe even 3DS as well. Like I've heard stories from other journalists who went to E3 where, yeah, at the Nintendo booth they would have booth babes, and they would literally have the device kind of like not chained, but like attached to them, so you couldn't just run off with the device. But then it was also really awkward because you're sitting there trying to play whatever new game it is, and the lady's just sitting there like, okay, well,
What do I do?
yeah. So really weird.
I can't walk away because you're holding this, and also I am chained to the booth as well. So I can't leave ever. This is my life now.
Yeah, it's just I'm just the middleman. That's all it is, or woman as it is. But hey, enough about my old PSP talk. You have something brand new in your pocket, and I'm not talking about a new flavor of root beer. Where you have a new handheld. So what is it?
I do, yeah. Okay, so I got myself a TrimUI Brick Pro. This is brand new. I barely touched it, but yeah, we can check it out together if you want.
Yeah, and you got the box and everything. I actually do kind of like the look of that box.
Yeah, they do a good job on their boxes. Yeah, better compared to like Amberlick, which is just like a white box with the product name if you're lucky.
Right.
I have the device over there, but I wanted to show you that they did the buttons again. Where I don't know if you knew this, but the TrimUI Brick, you could swap the shoulder buttons. Let's do it. All right, I'll show you.
I actually didn't know that. Yeah, I've never messed with a TrimUI handheld.
Okay, well, there's the device in all its glory. We'll come back to that. We'll deal with the back first. So they have these shoulder buttons that are swappable. And where'd it go? Oh, it's still in there. Hang on. Yeah.
And so, like, it's just a different size or a different shape?
Yeah, different shape. Okay, so here, actually, I can probably zoom in. Yeah, the audio viewers will love this.
Yeah,
I should probably do that thing where you talk it through. So right now we're looking at the back of the TrimUI Brick Pro, and we can see that the shoulder and trigger buttons have this shape that's sort of very boxy with like a little lip around where your fingers rest. It's a comfy button style, but it's not the one I prefer. These ones here are the same ones that they had on the TrimUI Brick and the Brick Hammer. And they are sort of like rounded. Hang on, I'm going to pull it off. So the buttons come off just by popping them up. You just kind of. Oh, unless they're making a liar out of me. These ones seem stiff. The old device, they came off too easy. They were
I was about to say, like, sometimes it could be a bad thing.
Yeah. The TrimUI Brick, it did have the buttons that popped off too easy, and some people did have extra loose ones that just fell off on their own.
Ooh.
If I had one, I would just super glue it on, to be honest. If I had a device where the buttons fell off. All right, what side are we on here? Left? There it goes.
Oh, I heard it on the ground.
Yeah, it's around here somewhere.
It's lost now. You'll never see that one again.
You'd think I'd be better at this considering how often I do it.
Nah,
all right.
It's hard to do it live.
Yeah, so pop that on there. There it is. Let me grab the other one. Hang on.
Okay.
Luckily, it was on my sock.
Oh, there you go. Easy.
And it doesn't happen often like that. Usually it goes flying across the room and I spend 30 minutes looking for it. All right. There. So you can see the difference. This one is sort of like the L2 is raised up and it's rounded. This is just, they're all kind of equally comfortable, to be honest. This is just aesthetically more pleasing to me. I feel like this one just looks a little, I don't know, cheap and weird. Yeah. This one is slightly less cheap and weird.
Yeah, so it's actually thicker for audio listeners, so it raises it up a little bit and then adds a little bit more of a curvature to it.
The other one, I won't put it on, but the other one, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like kind of angled and sharp. Kind of raises up more sharply. So it's like a straight line instead of like a lower one and a higher one. It's sort of just like one straight line like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, let me turn it on.
And
So
all three of those options are in the box. Like, it
yeah,
just come with it. Oh, okay.
yeah, they did the same with the original brick as well.
Nice.
All right. So it's nice, nice plastic on it. It feels like a dense plastic. It doesn't feel cheap at all. They do nice details. This is new, I think. This kind of little accents and little designy things they added. I don't necessarily like those more, but whatever, it's fine. They did a retro gray model as well. The box, you can see the popular models, I think, are probably the white one and the black one. But I'm glad they did the retro gray version. That's like my thing. I like when my devices look like old Game Boys.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, it's on. Oh, wow. Okay.
So it looks like it's running Linux.
Yeah, this is the same flavor of Linux that they've used before.
Okay.
It's a custom Linux. It's sort of reminiscent of like a MIUI firmware, or maybe even like Amberlick's newer versions of their thing. You got your systems here, and you go into the system to launch the game. You know how it goes. This is actually the fancy card. LitNXT sells these custom cards that have like really good ROM sets. So I don't know how the actual ROM set of the device is if you don't get their fancy card. I'm assuming it's fine, but not great. Yeah, LitNXT does these really nice sets where it's like, yeah, they have 1G, 1R ROM sets, which means one game, one ROM with an English North American priority. So it's a complete ROM set, but no extra games, no duplicate games or foreign language games. The only foreign language games they have on here are translations, and they have fan translations pre-patched of a bunch of popular games. Dang. And then they also have like this little Pokemon ROM hack section. It's a good little system, but I mean, it's just, you're just buying a card with ROMs at that point. So like, yeah, whatever. It probably comes with like a somewhat janky card that you can add your own stuff on. But the actual device is it's nice. It feels bigger than the last one. Obviously, I could go get the last one if you want to see the comparison.
Actually, yes, please, if you don't mind, because
right.
I'm not as familiar with it.
I have Newly as the custom firmware on this one. This one, they didn't do a beige version, so they had a black one and a white one, and this is the white one. That was my favorite. I did a button mod on the black one, actually. LitNXT sold custom buttons, so I got orange buttons for the black one.
Oh,
but I actually gave that one to a deserving fan because it was customized and it had my laser engraved logo on the back plate there.
How did you do that?
Too. LitNXT does those. You just you can order them through their website, and you send them the graphic, and they just do it. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So, I mean, the new one, then the Brick Pro, it's substantially bigger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a 4-inch screen instead of I think this was a 3.2-inch screen. It's smaller than lots of them. And it was very high resolution too. It was 1024 by 768, which is a sentimental resolution for me because that was the resolution I had on my first flat screen monitor. That was my main gaming monitor for most of my young adult life.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, the new one is quite a bit bigger. It has sticks now, obviously. So, I mean, the kind of stuff you'd play on here is like, maybe dual sticks would be nice. I don't know about that, to be honest. You're not going to get, I guess like N64 and stuff. Like it's a good bit more powerful than lots of devices that come with dual sticks. So yeah, it's fine. It does feel more big and Game Boy size. The screen is really nice. It's a big, like compared to something like this, it feels like a big, luxurious gaming experience.
Well, less bezels, it looks like too, right?
Yeah, this one didn't have much bezels as it was, but they do pick good screens. TrimUI does.
I do like that. Can you feel a tangible difference between the texture of the plastics?
It feels very similar. This one feels a little bit more sandy, bit more gritty. This one feels more smooth, and this one didn't really feel super smooth to begin with. So, yeah, it definitely is different. They've changed the plastic feel. The controls feel very similar to this. The D-pad feels identical. The button size and shape feels identical. It's a very low clicky button, not loud clicky, but yeah, it's a micro switch in there. Yeah, it's nice. It's the extra size is nice. It's sort of like if you've used TrimUI Brick, it'll feel very familiar. But the extra size is what sets it apart, and that is very nice. And the big screen is also nice.
And remind me the hammer variants. That just means that they have the hard shell, the aluminum shell.
Yeah, on the original TrimUI Brick, it was a CNC'd aluminum shell. I don't know on the new one if it's only a shell swap or if they've actually changed the chip. I haven't. I haven't. This just arrived at my house like yesterday, so I barely even. I wasn't expecting it this early actually.
Oh, really?
I guess Lid NXT got them nice and quickly. Yeah. After my current video, this is going to be my next video. I'm going to do a deep dive in this. I'm going to start going to bed with this and spending time playing games on it and stuff. So, yeah.
Risky.
No, not like that. Not like that.
Yeah. Well, so like, did you ever have the hammer, the original hammer?
Yeah, I got that one too. It's over there.
Okay.
It's the same as it's identical to this in every single way, except it's a metal shell.
Well, I remember Russ for a while was going back and forth on the RG rotate if he liked the plastic versus the aluminum. Like what's your take? Do you prefer plastic or do you prefer aluminum?
I generally prefer plastic.
Oh, okay.
The metal shell devices are cool, but not as practical. They're a little bit more heavy. I actually carry these things in my pocket. Like I'll carry a device around with me. If it's my current device, I'll just keep it in my pocket all day. And yeah, the metal devices are a good bit heavier. The rotate I actually had a problem with because it had a sharp little. Do you have a rotate?
I don't.
All right, let me grab it. Hang on. I need a visual for this. I am not as in love with the rotate as Russ is. I'll say that much. I do like it.
Nice fidget item though.
yeah, it is fun to fidget. I do like it, but I don't love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I barely touched it since my video. So boom. This little guy right here, this little nubby bit.
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
You talked about that in your video, didn't you?
Yeah, it drives me nuts. It's right where my finger is. And on the metal version, it's like razor sharp. And there's no way I can even like get it softer. Like I feel like I'd like the plastic version better, both because it's lighter, but also because of that. This even when my finger's up here, this edge feels sharp. Very rarely do I complain about like things rubbing or sharp edges or whatever, but this one really got to me. And I don't feel like most people complained about it. So it might just be a me thing. Maybe I'm just holding it weird. If I adjust my grip, I can compensate, but my natural inclination is to just put my finger there. And it's like a thing with me. If I feel something, I'll just fiddle with it. I can't stop myself. And so just having it there, I'm constantly like doing this. And when I was reviewing this, my finger hurt. Like I actually hurt myself doing this so much. Like I had to put it down and stop playing with it because like it hurt. Yeah, I feel like the plastic version would sit better with me on this one, but for that reason. But even beyond that, just metal devices, yeah, they don't really do it for me. Not that I don't like them. I'll use them if I have them, but I'm generally pretty agnostic into preferring one to the other. I'll usually go for the plastic if it's cheaper or if I like the look of it better.
Okay.
Having a device that looks beautiful to me is very important. So if I prefer the metal device just by the way it looks, I'll probably go for that.
Okay, unless it has some sort of extra little thing that rubs on your finger.
Yeah. Unless I hurt myself by touching it.
So, yeah, what I mean, you kind of alluded to it, but walk me through the process of your next steps. Like you got it in. Like, do you configure anything else? Do you just try to test it out of the box? What is a typical Mr. Dweeb review?
Yeah, usually I will immediately jump onto the discords for like Rocknix and Newly and see if there's any custom builds for any custom systems. I don't actually like the TrimUI system all that much. It's a good system. I'm not saying it's not good. It's just not really that nice to me. It doesn't look nice, and I don't know, just the way they do things. Like how when you're in a game, you have to push a button to bring up a menu, and then you open the RetroArch menu, and then RetroArch is all weird looking, and to change it, you have to open it by itself, like the other firmwares, I know like the back of my hand. So wrapping my mind around these custom firmwares isn't really that fun.
Okay, yeah, and then how long does it take for you to make a video? I mean, we're recording this on a Thursday, the 9th. Like, when do you think the video would be up?
Usually about 2 days. I need to live with it for like a whole day, and during that time, I will film my gameplay. So I'll just start my camera and I will start playing with it. And I'll sit there and play with it for like 3-4 hours or whatever. A device like this, like I don't need to push the boundaries of emulation. I don't need to try experimental emulators or anything like that. I just need to play games. I'll see how those hard Dreamcast and N64 games run, the hard PSP games. But really, I'll just play with it and just kind of get a real feel for it. Maybe by that night, I'll be ready to write and record a script. So that's one day, sitting with it from the morning until night. I might go to bed with a recording of the audio for the video. If it's the kind of video that I do the audio in advance, which I don't always do. Sometimes I actually do record them live and then just heavily edit the video. And then the next day, first thing in the morning, I will edit the audio and then immediately start filming. And then the filming usually takes me maybe 2 hours for A-roll. And I've already got the gameplay. And then maybe, 30 minutes to do some fun B-roll shots. And then probably an hour to do some dumb skits or whatever the heck I decide to do in the video. Some extra thing, like halfway through making it, I'm like, why did I do this? I don't know. Why am I spending so much time on this? And then I'll sit down to edit it. And my rule is that if by 6 o'clock I am editing, I try to get the video done by that night and schedule it to upload the next morning. If it's after 6 and I'm just starting editing, I probably won't be able to finish before like 4 a.m. or something like that. So I won't even try. But usually I'm able to finish the video at night and have it ready for the next morning. So that's 2 solid days.
Dang. That's awesome.
For a device like this, though, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a retro handheld. I'm familiar with the company. I'm familiar with the software. There's not going to be much I need to learn or unique things about it. If it is a device that requires some heavy tinkering or some maybe there's a problem and I want to get to the bottom of it, I'll need maybe a whole extra day for that. So I'll work on a different video and then I'll just carry this around and play with it and tinker with it and spend like an extra 2 days just having it before starting the video. So that way I can get those weird opinions or weird problems or whatever figured out before the video.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to see your video on it. Go subscribe to Tech Dweeb over on YouTube because you should, and then you can watch that as well. So, yeah, looking forward to your thoughts on it.
Don't hold me to having it done this Sunday because I'll try my best. That's fine. If it doesn't come out on Sunday, it'll be Tuesday. That's my usual schedule. I usually do Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. That's what I strive for. Sometimes it doesn't work, but
Well, listen, you put up a video recently that I think we should expand upon here. Because I watched a video, and I don't remember the title of it, but you were essentially wanting to rant about these things that we have in our pockets.
Yeah,
What was
my
the title of
handheld pet peeves. I don't know. I had two titles. I did an A/B testing. One of them was called my handheld pet peeves, and the other one I think was called I need to complain about handhelds. Something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Awesome video. I'm going to link down in the description. You should definitely go watch it. Maybe pause the podcast and come back, kind of thing. So, like, I mean, all really good points. Hilariously done. We're not going to recount the whole video here, but I think some of them we would like to expand upon or add in, because I mean the thing is that so many of those, like when you brought it up, I was like, yep, he's right. He's right. I got nothing else to add to this. This is just right. Specifically, one where you call out those pesky reviewers, man. They just they populate our YouTube feeds, like God, and you just have to watch the videos because you like listening to them talk, and then there you go. You're in the description, and you hit the button to buy the thing, and it's just like, wait, I have too many devices now. Dang it.
Yeah, like don't they have better things to do with their time than try to convince us innocent normies to go and spend our money on these handhelds all the time? And it's like they love everything. Like every device comes along, they're like, it's amazing, and it's like, well, now I got to buy this. I hope you're happy with yourself.
Yeah. So you could just, live in Hawaii or something, some, cool place that. Yeah.
Living it up, having a family and a wife and people who love you in a beautiful place.
Go on a vacation to Australia.
I know. And here we are left to just pick up the pieces.
Yeah. These reviewers, man. Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah. Well, they hopefully they watch my video and rethink their lives.
They should. Yes. Like Clockwork Orange, just open up their eyeballs and make sure they watch the whole thing.
I like the way you think.
Right. All jokes aside, though, like I do find myself looking at the drawer full of handhelds or the stand or whatever, and I'm like, wow. I mean, part of it is we are covering this, right? But I know that even if I wasn't in this job covering this stuff, I would probably have way too many of these devices. And like, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. What should we do, Mr. Dweeb?
Well, I mean, the reason I started my channel was because I had so many things and I wanted to talk about them. The concept of my channel is I never wanted to be like the be all end all reviewer of these things or the final voice. I just want to talk about the things that I like. I don't like I don't like focusing on negative things. So that's why I have so many devices that I haven't even reviewed because I don't like them. And it's I don't even want to make a video about this thing. In some ways, that's not good because people would like to know that I don't like a thing. That's what Russ does, and that informs lots of people that this thing may not be what you expect or whatever. So I'm probably being a little bit negligent, but I love these things. They're so fun and cool, and I love having lots of them. I love the variety. I love seeing them on my shelf. The collecting these little toys is part of the hobby. Using them is one thing, but having them and finding out what makes them different is its own little thing. So I think most people relate to that at least a little bit. Anybody who has more than one probably relates to the idea of I didn't need another one, but I got one anyway because I just wanted to see what it was like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and here's the other point too, is so many times I will find myself being like, oh yeah, that's the one. It almost seems like every time a new Retroid Pocket device comes out, I was like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and buy that one. That's going to be the one. I'm not going to need another one. That's the one. And then they'll release another Retroid Pocket and be like, oh, you know what? That one is nice. I'm just going to upgrade to that one. That's just going to be the one. Then rinse and repeat.
I'm usually wrong when I expect a device to be the one. It's usually a bad call because I'll live with it for a week and I'm like, you know what? No, it's just another thing, and I kind of prefer the old one or whatever. I'm pretty. I wouldn't say picky. It's more like I'm pretty pretty specific with the things that have real staying power with me. I'm very easy to please, and so when a device just kind of gets all the important stuff right and it doesn't do anything weird to annoy me, it just becomes my favorite thing. Just because I just want to grab that one and play with it, not because I think it's the most interesting, just because there it is, and I just know it's going to work exactly the way I want. Like right now, my favorite, I shouldn't say my favorite device, because my favorite device is the Miu Mini. But my current, I say my main device, which is this little guy right here, the RG476H. And I put a little bezel on this. That's why it looks a little different. But yeah, it's a very simple, basic retro handheld. And I think the Retroid Pocket Nova is going to be I'm going to like it for the same reasons. But we'll see. We'll see. I really like the way Amberlick does the retro vibes. I like the way they do the nostalgic aesthetics. Retroid's been steering away from that lately. I feel like they've kind of lost their way in that regard. Changing their aesthetics to feel more modern and gamery rather than classic and retro and nostalgic. So yeah, this is my current main device. I play on this more than anything else, retro games at least. And yeah, it's there's not much to it, and I had no idea that this was going to become the one, but it just did. It just I just grabbed it more than anything else, just because I wanted to play on this instead of something else, not because I decided it was the one. You know?
Nice. Well, I mean, here's the other part that I've been struggling with too, is like I've got so many different devices that can emulate the PSP, but then at the end of the day, I'm just like, I just kind of want to play the PSP. Like, yes, I can upscale it, do shaders and, patches and like all that, this kind of stuff. But I'm like, it's not bringing me, like, yes, it's bringing me convenience because, I've got the PSP and the Super Nintendo and a Game Boy Advance and all that kind of stuff in one, but it never does everything right. And it also just doesn't feel like the original experience. So, like lately, that's why I've just been such in the hole of like playing the original hardware. And I'm like, yeah, these things come close, but it's not the original hardware. Like it feels weird.
Do you find yourself wanting to play games on the PSP because removing convenience makes you want to sink your teeth into this game more? Rather than just be constantly jumping around and messing with shaders and stuff?
Yes. Yeah. That's definitely part of it. Like part of it is the setup. It takes a while to set up. I mean, luckily Russ has awesome setup guides and I follow them and then I do it. And then every time I turn it on, like, I mean, I have been, my main emulation device I have been using is the AYN Thor. And so like I've got everything set up on that, and I had my PSP games set up, and I was playing some of the games, and it's not like it wasn't a bad experience. But then it's like, oh, okay, is there an update? Do I need to charge it? Do I power it off? And I always forget that on the AYN Thor, when you close the lid, it actually doesn't put it to sleep. You still have to hit the sleep button. So sometimes I've had it fall or run out of battery like that. So like, yeah, it's weird. Like playing it on the original hardware, I think you're right. Playing it on the original hardware just takes all those distractions away, and I can just focus on the game, and that is really nice.
Yeah. That's a thing with original hardware. I think just the act of needing to put a cartridge in and turn it on. It prevents you from jumping around and constantly feeling like, I'll just play something else for a minute, or maybe I don't want to play this, maybe I want to play that. And, the experience of playing on the device sort of is like all the buy-in you need to actually see this game through. I feel that way when I play on, especially when like, Russ makes videos about this where he talks about like just putting a couple games on a device And I think it's the same kind of philosophy, the restricting yourself. I made a video about this where I made mixtapes. Did you see that video? I
Yes.
made
Yeah.
yeah, these little like mixtapes where it's like I put all of a certain type of game on an SD card. And when I want to play, when I'm in the mood to play some racing games, I'll grab my racing games mixtape and pop
It's
that
actually
in
really
my
smart.
Mew Mini. Yeah, because like I like some variety. I don't want to play just one game over and over and over again. I want to be able to jump around. But if I'm in the mood to play racing games, why not have multiple racing games or whatever? And it's like I could easily just make a card that has all the games ever. But then I'm not gonna. When I want to play a racing game, I gotta start hunting through the list, looking for racing games, and other games are gonna get in my way. And it's like, yeah. Restrictions sometimes force you to actually play something, and I feel like original hardware is the ultimate restriction, just because you can't jump over to a new game without turning it off and swapping the disc.
Yeah, I mean, unless you mod it, right? I mean, I do have
Yeah.
I do have a mod on the PSP, but I have limited myself in the ROMs that I'm putting on, and I have been collecting some of the actual UMD drives as well. But then I'm also like, ooh, I just paid a lot of money for this, so I kind of don't want to play it. I'd rather play the ROM version just in case I break it or something.
Yeah, that's a thing.
The place where I would wish that I could maybe limit myself, and maybe you have an idea on this, is that like, okay, the AY and Thor, even if I put like a real small subset of games on there, the only ones that I'm focusing on, I still get distracted when I turn it on by being like, oh, is there an update? Should I go over to Obtainium? Oh man, is there a
Oh
new
yeah.
driver patch? Like I wish I could find a good, like almost like configure it the way Russ says, because when Russ says it, that's how you do it, and then just seal it, just like lock it off, so you literally can't change anything else, and you just you just play the games, kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
even if I
but
wanted to go into Obtainium, it's like, nah, you can't go in here. You're not allowed.
But what about the FOMO? What about feeling like maybe you're
Right.
missing the latest driver? Maybe it would
Right.
run a little better. Maybe it would use less battery. Maybe the UI has an update that shows the whatever you want to know. Yeah, it doesn't end. We're doomed. We're in this hobby, and there's no escape. Just accept it, and it'll go a lot easier for you.
Yeah. I mean, I do wish, I do, I like the simplicity sometimes of the Linux based variants, right? Because usually there's less variables. Yes, you can flash it with a whole different like version on it or something like that. But within it, it's not as complicated as something like Android, which, I mean, to be fair, is not the most complicated operating system out there, but there is a lot more variables that you can mess with, which is why I usually kind of like those Linux devices because of that. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yeah. Android, you get into the situation where you're updating individual apps. But on the Linux devices, you just every now and then update the whole dang thing, and it does it all together, right? Yeah, Android, I feel, is a lot more of a tinkerer's hobby. Even now that things have gotten so much different than it was, even when I started my channel, like 4 years ago or 5 years ago or however long I've been doing this. Early on, my first Android device, I think, was the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. No, the Retroid Pocket 3.
Hmm.
And back then, Android was like, not. It doesn't resemble at all the way it is now. It is. There's so much more, so much less problems. It's all so much more seamless. But yeah, even still, there's always something to tinker with. There's always an app to update, always some new front end to try, some new way to organize your stuff. It never ends. Like there's always, this is a hobby where if you are a tinkerer, you will find ways to tinker. There's always something else.
Well, I guess the hard part for me too is that I'm usually not smart enough to know a lot of these things, Like either because I need to troubleshoot, like if I set something up the way Russ says to, and then something breaks, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I guess I'm lucky. I can just text Russ, but not everybody has that. So, I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know how to fix this myself. Now I need to go learn how to do that. But then maybe I learn it and I fix it, and then 6 months later, I'll run into that again and be like, I don't remember how to do that. I learned that 6 months ago. So and like I feel like I'm like I don't have a computer science background. Like I don't know anything about coding, anything like that. And so there's certain things where I'm just like, oh boy, I don't know the inner workings of this. I'm glad people do, and that's awesome. But man, I'm up shit's creek without a paddle sometimes.
Yeah. And one of the downsides to like video guides, like what Russ does, what I do, when you make a video on a thing, that video becomes outdated pretty quick. My last Android guide is less than a year old, and already there's like several things that I've had to adjust in the comment section, in the pinned comment. And I feel like I need to make another one. And it's like the fundamentals are the same, but just like a few of the things I said, like use this emulator for this. You can't do this, so do this workaround. But now you can do that thing. So what I said, it wouldn't make sense to do the thing I said. So it's like you'll always need to figure out those kind of things. Like when something goes wrong, you got to be the kind of dweeb who seeks out the solution. And if you want to set it and forget it, Linux is good for that.
There you go. Well, listen, one of the things I did not agree with in your video is the back buttons. They're not always they're not always implemented well. I agree with that, but I am a back button person.
Do you have a retro handheld where you use the back buttons?
None of the retro ones.
No. Do you have a Retroid Pocket 6 or a Thor? Not a Thor, a Odin a device of any sort?
No, neither of them. I have a Retroid Pocket 5, so I don't have the new
that one doesn't have the back buttons.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I can see more of a use case for them on the PC side. My video was about retro handhelds.
Got it.
Complaining. I actually did have a whole section of PC handheld complaints that I cut from the video just because I that's a thing I got to keep. I try to keep my videos of a certain length. So my original concept for the video, I actually had 100 items, and the final list was only like 60 or something. I cut a whole bunch of stuff.
Dang.
I think maybe I might actually do a separate PC handhelds pet peeves video because that was a big section. You could probably list off 100 of them right now.
Yeah, Windows. There we go.
and just one pet peeve. Windows. Yes. There it is.
Copilot.
There are so many sub peeves of that one peeve though.
Yeah. No, I guess you're right. Yeah, like on the I mean, but the thing is that most of the time the implementation, even on the Windows or the PC handheld side, are not great. Like the first one I think of is like the Ally. I feel like Asus has never nailed the back buttons. They've changed the size, they've changed maybe the placement a little bit, but they never feel good. They never like are intuitive, at least for my hands. And it's just always like, okay, well, I'm never going to use those. The Steam Deck, like while they're not the best back buttons, I actually do use those, and like I'm able to kind of get something from it. So yeah, I guess it's not perfect on that side either. But yeah, now that you mention it, I don't think I would appreciate back buttons on any of the retro emulation devices.
Yeah. So on PC, I think it has more of a use case because you can set those buttons up to be functions that aren't already on your controller. Mm-hmm. But generally on the retro handheld side, you're just making those buttons another A button or another B button or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you already have those buttons on the front. So why am I doing that on the back? And I can see why. When you have access to your fingers are back there doing nothing anyways. So why not be able to push a button and then you have more buttons that your fingers can push? I get it. But maybe I'm just old and you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but it doesn't feel good for me to push buttons back there. And I can never wrap my brain around it. And every time I set them up and I try to force myself to be the kind of guy who uses the back buttons, because I get it. I wish I could, because there was more buttons. It makes sense. But like, I just stop using them. I don't want to use them. I just want to use the buttons on my fingers and my thumbs. And that's it. Not the ones around the back. So, yeah. Also, there is no universal way to do the back buttons. We've all figured out the front buttons, the D-pad, the sticks. They're all the triggers and the bumpers. You wouldn't have an ROG Ally come along and be like, oh, there's 3 triggers now, because that would be weird, right? Like, they don't do that. But around the back, they're like, okay, there's our device only has 1 back button. Ours has 2. On ours, these 2 are function, but these 2 are bindable. These 2 are turbo. Here's how you do the turbo, and it's always different. Yeah. They're all trying to reinvent the wheel. And I don't want to learn a different way of holding the device or feeling for the buttons or whatever. And also, this is like a thing with me, but I have a sensory thing where like I don't like things under my fingers and it feels weird, and it gives me the heebie-jeebies to feel things back there. I'm constantly like what is that? I don't like it. I'm always trying to move my fingers so I don't have to feel it. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, speaking of buttons, you made a joke in the video about more buttons than a winter coat. Do people really say that?
Yeah, that's we all say that in Canada all the time.
Why? I guess I don't get it.
Okay. Well, we all have winter coats, and we all know how many buttons they have. All those buttons on a winter coat. Yeah, you wouldn't get it. It's come to Canada, you'll get it.
Okay.
You gotta have lots of winter. That's a winter coat joke. Canadians are pros at winter coats, so you know.
Yeah, here in the Bay Area,
joke,
I don't bring out my winter coat that often here in the Bay Area, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. My winter coat is like a process to get in and get myself all bundled up.
Okay, and get all those buttons. Okay. So more on the PC handheld stuff, I guess. Like, what I remember the very first time I got a Steam Deck, and I got it all set up and sat down on the couch, because most of my gaming happens in the evening. My wife and I are in the couch. She'll watch something on the TV. I'll play a game. So like it just works out perfectly like that. And I remember I got the Steam Deck, and I got it out and was playing it. And my wife turned to me. She's like, "Are you going to play that thing the whole time? Like, that thing is loud." I was like, yeah, you're kind of right. I mean, to be fair, I got the really bad fan at the beginning. I don't remember which one it was, the Delta or the whatever one. So I did end up switching that out, and so I got a better fan experience. But yeah, some of these can get real loud, like the fans and the cooling and stuff like that. And like, man, it can be annoying.
Yeah. PC handhelds are generally a lot louder than Android devices, but I actually find the sound that comes from PC handhelds a lot more tolerable than retro handhelds, just because they tend to have larger fans, I think, and it's just sort of less of a high pitched whirring noise, more of a low thing. I mean, none of them sound good, but like, point. Yeah, I'm the kind of guy who I will lower the performance profile specifically for the fan noise. If the fan is pissing me off, I will lower those settings. I'll play at 720p with FSR. I'll lower the settings right down. I'll lower the TDP down to 6 watts or whatever I can get away with. That's the game I like to play, the optimization game. Not getting the most. I want to get a playable experience with the least. And that's fun for me. That's the tinkering I like to do on PC handhelds. And subsequently, that's the same kind of tinkering you do for battery life and fan noise. So it just works out that the way I like to play is the low fan, quiet, battery efficient way. Even if it means I'm playing at 30 FPS with potato settings.
I mean, you like potatoes. You had some mashed potatoes, so I guess.
Oh man,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that was a good commercial break. I got a full belly.
Yeah. I mean, really the one of the biggest killers though is like launchers, right? All of it, like Asus has Armory Crate, MSI has I don't even remember what they call theirs. Lenovo has
the Dragon Center.
Oh yeah, and then Lenovo has Legion Space, and
Yeah.
like yeah, some of them have gotten better over time, but they're always and I'm not and that's not even talking about the Shenzhen based companies. Like some of those are just like wow, and I'm not saying I could code an application better at all, but some of them I'm just like. Yeah, there's got to be a different way, or just not at all. Like, do we need some of these?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah. That's I had a whole section in my rants about that. What I don't like about on the PC side specifically is when they try to layer it, where it's like you've got this for launching games, but you also need to come in here to do updates, and also you want to come in here to do controller stuff. But we've got a quick launch bar where you can do some of that, but it's not all in there. You still have to come back in here for some of it. And some of it, maybe you do the updates and that launches their other app that does the updates. And it's like layers upon layers of launchers when all you just want to do is play a game. Like allegedly in this stack of launchers, there is a game to be played, but you're just playing the game of the interface so often on PC handhelds. And obviously, like once you get it kind of set up, you set up Steam Big Picture mode to launch automatically, and you disable the auto launch of the launcher. You can mostly ignore it. It's fine. I think most PC handheld enthusiasts, I think, get their devices pretty quickly into a state that they're happy with. Just like on the retro handheld side, like it only takes me about an hour and a half of sitting with a device before it is perfect. Like it's exactly the way I set it up every single time. I don't have that muscle memory and all the little tricks and stuff for PC handhelds yet. And every now and then one comes along that throws a monkey wrench at me where it's just like, oh, I need their little bar to change the TVP, but I don't like their bar. And also it conflicts with the keyboard of Steam having the two keyboard or whatever it is. Like, yeah. So yeah, I dislike I dislike Windows handhelds a lot more than Android handhelds. I'll say that much.
yeah. Oh, for the handheld stuff, yes. I think it's harder for me because like I'm in Windows all the time anyway, and like I guess I'm just used to the jank or knowing how to navigate it kind of thing, and it's just like I've accepted my fate and been like, all right, well, I guess I'll
Yeah.
figure this out kind of thing. So I guess I'm more tolerant of it because of that. But I mean, SteamOS obviously has set the watermark on that. Sure it's technically a front end launcher whatever, but I mean it's Steam Big Picture mode. I mean it's something that you can get multiple different ways. I don't think it's like the most amazing navigational experience either. Like it's not perfect, but it is much better than having to go into Windows and configure that stuff. I mean, yeah, I mean it's the whole thing though. That's hard.
I think SteamOS could be perfect someday, though. I see the potential there for it to be perfect. Like it's a little, there's a little bit of rough edges. There's some jank. Sometimes, a game will load two windows and Steam doesn't know which one or whatever it is. There's some weirdness, but it's so much better now than when the Steam Deck launched. I mean, you remember the first experiences with the deck? Like it was pretty universally hated, and now it's pretty universally loved. And if say what you want about Valve and their development and stuff like that, but they are putting in the work on SteamOS. That is their. It feels like that's the biggest innovation they've ever done, and they I feel like they know it. Like the fact that they're still working so hard on it. They wanted the Steam machine to be like the SteamOS box for the masses, and sometimes the best laid plans are whatever the saying is, but that didn't work out. But still, like I feel like they put so much work into Proton and Fex and all this stuff that they want it to be good. They want this to be easy, and I hope they do it. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and it's definitely lit a fire under Microsoft's butt, which is good. And yeah, I mean the
Yeah. Do you sorry to interrupt. Do you use the Xbox mode on PC handhelds?
I do, yeah. Like, I mean, but before the Xbox mode, full screen experience, whatever they called it, I was just having it boot and automatically launching Steam Big Picture, which sometimes if everything was fine, I would just play the game and then just if I need to do an update or something like that, I would handle that. Like Xbox mode is not great, like to be clear, but it is better than just doing that. Like I can at least launch that. The carousel that you can bring up by holding, whatever key configuration, be like, okay, what are my open windows? And then quickly close out of that. Like you're able to do everything with a controller now, which is nice. Like even the login screen you can do with your controller, like if you have like a PIN number or something like that, which, I mean, it doesn't always work, unfortunately, but like you can do that. Theoretically, I've gone through the whole setup process of a PC handheld with just the controller alone. Like it's not great, but you can do it, and which is good.
First pass at good enough for first pass. Hopefully, it gets a lot better. With Microsoft, I feel like they abandon projects and change directions so many times that I'm not confident that it's ever going to get amazing. I could easily see them, putting in a little bit more development and half-heartedly, and then just eventually being like, "Yeah, that didn't really work out, so we're not going to do it anymore." Well, I can't see that with Steam though. Steam is full steam ahead.
I see what you did there. Yeah, I do. It is funny. You just reminded me that I remember, year or two ago where people were always like, oh yeah, Microsoft has to make a real light version of Windows 11, something that's just for handhelds. And I was always just like, I'm sorry. Like, I know you want that. I want that too. They're not going to do that. You think they're going to like make a different version of Windows that's just for handhelds, which is just a small part of their like market? Like, no, they don't have. I mean, yes, they should if they wanted like to have a good relationship with their gaming audience, but there's no chance in hell that the upper management is gonna approve something like that.
And that company just moves with the speed of something slow, molasses or a snail. Well, you pick your slow moving thing. That's Microsoft analogy.
But like I don't hear people calling for that anymore, especially since the Xbox full screen experience seems to be like what they're trying to tout as the future. I don't really see people be like, oh yeah, they're going to make a whole new version of Windows just for handhelds. So
yeah. I mean, we'll see what they're cooking up with the new Xbox, whatever it becomes. Maybe they'll call it the Xbox experience or something. Their new console, they say it's going to be a lot more PC-like. Maybe it'll be a PC. Maybe it'll have Windows of some sort on there. Yeah. I'm Windows works, like the anti-cheat stuff and the launchers and whatever, you name it, it works on Windows. So I don't know if it would make sense to do something else. Just dealing with all the annoying stuff is all they need to do. But I think they've proven that they're not really willing to do that in a satisfying way. The things that could be very, very simple and easy if they just did it, they're not doing it. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they can, but
yeah.
Well, they're not making me want to play games in Windows on my devices right now, even with the Xbox experience.
Making it real hard. But we're running out of time here, Mr. Dweeb. Yeah. We need to wrap it up. I encourage people to go watch your video where you have all your rants laid out. And also I think you should release the Dweeb cut where you insert back in the ones that you cut out. And just go for it.
Well, I didn't actually film those. So
you didn't film those. Okay.
I just cut them from my script. I have enough that I can do. I probably will do a PC handhelds pet peeves follow up at some point.
There
for
you
sure.
Go. There you go.
And if you're watching and you have PC handheld pet peeves, leave them in the comments so I can steal them and not give you credit.
Please. Well, we're going to take one last break before getting out of here. We'll be right back.
All right.
All right, we're back to wrap it up. And Mr. Dweeb, I had somebody over in our Discord when I mentioned that you were going to be on the show. They told me to ask you about Shadow Dark. And I had no idea what Shadow Dark was, so here I am asking you, what is Shadow Dark?
Oh my gosh. How much time do you have?
Oh,
don't get me started. Okay. I'll try to do the short version. Hang on. I got my book right over here.
Oh, it's a book.
Yeah, so Shadow Dark, hang on. There we go. Okay. So Shadow Dark is like Dungeons and Dragons. So are you familiar with Dungeons and Dragons?
Yep.
For those who aren't familiar, the 30-second version is it's a game that has rules that you play the game with a pen and paper to keep track of your various character attributes and experiences and skills and items. You just write it on a piece of paper, and there are very complex mechanics for how to do things in the game. So you say it's a shared storytelling game. So you say, I want to bust down the door, and the game master is like the god of the world. They know all of the rules of the game, and it's their job to say what happens and what doesn't. And if you want to do something that the world it's not guaranteed, like busting down a door, the game master will say, all right, you need to do a strength check to knock down the door. And so then there are mechanics in the game where you roll some dice and you look at your character sheet and you say what happens. And then the game master has decided the difficulty of that thing. And they say whether or not it happens. And lots of video games are based on Dungeons and Dragons, Baldur's Gate and, I don't know, so many of them. Even something like World of Warcraft has like dice rolls that are happening behind the scenes, So Dungeons and Dragons is a simpler role-playing game in terms of tabletop games, but Shadow Dark is even simpler than that. Shadow Dark is like all the fluff and annoying parts of D&D stripped away. Only the fun, easy part is remained. So you can teach someone how to play Shadow Dark in 10 minutes. I made a video about how to do it. It was 10 minutes long. And,
really?
The tutorial part of it was 10 minutes. Obviously, I goofed around for a good extra 5 minutes, but yeah. So all it really is a book that has descriptions of how to play. But this one book has everything. Like in Dungeons and Dragons, you have to buy the player's guide so the players know how to do their thing. You got to buy the Dungeon Master guide so they knew all their little tricks. You got to buy the monster manual to have all the monsters to run fun games. This one, it's all in one. So you got the player section and the game master section and the monster section. And it's sort of a rules light, old school style of game where it's very crunchy, very dangerous. Your players die all the time. Your characters die all the time, I should say. You, the player, don't die. That's your character. But,
wow, that's high stakes.
I haven't played a game like that, but I'm sure there's one that exists. And when your character dies, you just get in as a new character. And the story of the game, that's a thing that happened where this hero that joined the party and they did this big, great thing and then they died and it was sad. And then this new guy came along to try to take up their mantle or whatever. So it's sort of like if everybody has buy-in, it's not even a bad thing. You, the player, have infinite lives. You just are always part of the game.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so Shadow Dark is a old school revival, OSR they call it, old school revival style Dungeons and Dragons. And all you need is this one book, but if you buy the book, you can also buy these you can buy these zines. They're sort of like so zines are you're familiar with a zine?
Yeah.
It's like a
I called them
magazine.
Zines back in the day because I didn't know.
Zines, yeah. The video I was working on before I got on here was actually about a new game I'm making, and it has a zine as well. Yeah, so these are like little adventure settings for Shadow Dark. So this one is like a haunted forest, and this one is like a Arabian Nights, desert Aladdin vibe kind of thing. And this one here is called Midnight Sun. And this is the adventure that I'm currently running for my game group. We've been playing for about a year at this point. Whoop. And in here, there are maps. You got like a map of the world with different locations and some fun things for them to explore and discover. Lots of tables in these games, tables of just encounters and random things that are going to happen. So you'll roll one of these up and that might turn into like a 1 hour long interaction where you're kind of just inventing a story together.
So do you because I've actually never played D&D, mostly because I don't have friends. And so, but also because it seems very intimidating, but usually there's like an actual physical thing that you're having to get as well, right? Not just like the dice, it's characters and like a play field.
So there are several different ways you can actually play D&D. Very often when you jump on YouTube, they'll be doing one of two ways. If you watch something like Critical Role or one of the big D&D shows, Dimension 20, that one they actually do use minis. Anyway, lots of them, they do what's called theater of the mind, where the game master just describes the scene and then the players say what they want to do. And it's less tactical. Obviously, you don't have your little minis moving around and measuring distances and stuff. You kind of just go by vibes lots of the time. But that's one of my favorite ways to play. I actually love doing the games like that.
Well, what about this one?
Oh yeah, this one, it's the same thing. You can have minis where you're moving around on a map, or you can just do it all by mind. And it takes some skill as a game master to run a game in theater of the mind, because if you look at this map here, for those who are just listening, I'm showing a map with a grid, and there's rooms connected by little tunnels, and they have a very specific grid. So something like this, you'd think like, oh, you need minis to be able to move on the map. But you don't really. I mean, if the game master is describing things well, they'll say, oh, you walk into the, what's an area here? Okay, so you walk out on into the darkness, and you can hear the dripping water from stalactites dripping down, and you get a feel for the size of the cave. But your torchlight only illuminates the area around you, and you realize you are standing on the edge of an underground lake, and you can hear something big moving in the darkness over yonder, something grunting, and you can hear it dragging something. And so the players would just then say what they want to do. Do you want to advance slowly and hold your torchlight to get to light it up, or do you want to hide? Do you want to wait and see what happens? Do you want to go a different way?
I want to change my pants because I probably shat them.
Yeah, it can be pretty stressful, especially so I say like your characters can die. You, the player, is always in the game, but sometimes you, the player, are working towards something in the game. Maybe the evil mayor of the town is doing bad stuff, and you're trying to stop him. But you really need to go and do this thing to stop him, and you don't want that to fail. So you've got the buy-in, even if you're not worried about your characters dying and not being able to be in the game or whatever. Yeah. So that's Shadow Dark in a nutshell. I could talk forever about this game. There are lots of fun things about it that make it unique, like the darkness. In Shadow Dark, when you light a torch in the game, you set a 1 hour timer in real life. And if your torch goes out in the game, you're plunged into darkness, and none of your characters can see. So it's like you're in the dark, and then suddenly stuff comes creeping out of the darkness, and you're trying to light a torch, and you're rolling dice to light it, but it's harder because it's too dark. And yeah,
nice.
If only you knew a game master to run a game for you on your podcast with other celebrity handheld enthusiasts. but sadly, that probably will never happen unless somebody in the audience were to demand such a thing, of course. But I mean, I don't think anybody would actually want to watch that. So,
No, yeah. YouTube probably couldn't handle anything like that either. So,
yeah. It's probably boring nerd stuff that you guys watch and wouldn't care about. So
that actually would sound pretty fun. I've never tried anything like that. So, I'd probably break the rules though. just kind of poke and see what I can do.
Yeah. No, that's that. If you're that type of player, there is an avenue for you to have fun doing that.
Nice.
I will say that I actually made an adventure for Shadow Dark. You can find it on my Patreon. It's free. It's not. You don't have to subscribe to my Patreon and support me or the work I do on there. You can just download it. And it is called The Dusty Halls of the Eternal Boy, and it is retro handheld themed.
That's cool.
Yeah, there is like some of the custom enemies I made are like a handheld swarm. You're trying to find the eternal dweeb's handheld stash. And when I say handhelds, they're actually like rune stones that you hold in your hand.
Wow.
They're like, lots of inside jokes for us retro emulation nerds in there.
That's awesome. All right. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, go over to Mr. Dweeb's. Tech Dweeb's Patreon. And yes, you can get that for free, but I think you should give money. I think you should support all the awesome stuff that Mr. Dweeb's doing over on YouTube and such. So
thank you so much. I should also mention it's on itch.io as well, and it's free there. It's just an optional donation, which you don't have to do. Don't feel obligated. Just
Nice. That's awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on the show. I can't believe I was fooled at the top into thinking that you were Russ for a second. But I mean, the green mat was really like, I saw the green mat and I was like, oh yeah, that's obviously Russ. That's easy.
Yeah. Well, that's one of my special skills, tricking people. You never know where I'm gonna pop up.
Dang it. Okay. Yeah, but next time, just probably hold off there. Maybe figure out a way to disguise the root beer, because that's really what gave it away. So that happened to me the last 3 or 4 times I tried to imitate someone as well. They saw right through it as soon as the root beer came out, but I can't help myself. I love it too much. Actually, I don't even know what Russ drinks. Like if you were to try to disguise your root beer something else like Russ related.
He strikes me as a water drinker.
Oh, that Hawaiian water. Oh, nobody likes Hawaiian water. That's horrible.
Yeah, I doubt he drinks alcohol or pop or I know he doesn't drink tea, because when he went to China, he was saying that he drank so much tea he was not used to drinking tea.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Yeah.
Yep. True. All right. Well, I think next week he will be back for the episode, and I'm gonna have to break it to him that you tricked me. So
we just missed each other. Yeah, we'll have to maybe someday we can trick him, you and me. I could take your place, and then he'll have no idea, and then I could spring it on him.
There we go. That would be hilarious. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Thanks everybody for joining. If you want to subscribe to us, we're everywhere podcasts are. We have a video version on YouTube, also on Spotify. And Russ will hopefully be back next week. He is slowly releasing videos, but I know he has a lot to do when he gets back. So I can't wait to hear from it.
He's like running from poisonous creatures or whatever they do in Australia. It's a land of monsters down there.
Yeah, he's just running from didgeridoos as well. So
man,
he hates it.
Anyway, terrifying.
Rest up, massage your ankles, take a Epsom salt, bath or something like that. Just rest up, because we have more adventures to go on in the future in the next episode. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you there. Bye.
Bye-bye.